AM Albuquerque is the sports animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us.
Now betting for the sports animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, men on, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Marie Castillo. This is 2 Men On with Van Nunley and Fred.
Here we go.
It's Thursday. Hey, you know what that means? That means the boys are Sadie's on board. Let's go. 4 o'clock, Sadie's on board. Then there are 4 of us. That, my friends, is called good radio. I'm Fred Sawyer, Van Nunley. Hey, Marie Castillo back at the studio. Congratulations on her to full-time promoter of the boys at the Super Bowl next week. Hey, Marie, we're going to work you. We're going to work you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, I mean,
And I'm going to win a lot of money.
Okay, all right. Please only gamble on the last day. I don't need your terrible energy of you.
Van, can you speak for all of us gamblers that I'm betting every day?
No, bet 0 days until the last
day. The
day.
Richmond Spiders have been making me so much money.
All right, we're moving on for that, but I promise we'll come back to it. Joining us on the program, Turbo Tony Davis.
What up,
brother? Tony, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. I'm glad to be here.
It's so much better to have you here than Gabe Gambino and Manhide.
So I just learned in real time right now.
I think my hair's better.
I just learned right now in real time that Turbo Tony has a last name. That is wild to me.
Yeah, well, Turbo,
my last name is Tony. My first name is Turbo.
Yeah.
Is that my fault? Because obviously, professional wrestler for Duke State Championship Wrestling, fan favorite at this point, used to be fan Deuce favorite. That's a fact. But no, you're a really good storyteller. You're a really good professional wrestler. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But we're not going to start the show with that because here's why you're here, Turbo Tony Davis, racing enthusiast, knowing everything about going fast, motorcycles, and all the things associated with it. Van and I and A-Marie next Tuesday are going to the Las Vegas Super Bowl media party, and it's at Grand Prix Plaza, where I was told they were going to drive us around in circles real fast, Van, in F1 cars.
Oh, did you hear that thunk underneath the table? Because I'll tell you what, I've never been more excited for any news in my life.
Same. Tony, am I going to fit in a race car?
You know, I don't actually know. If it's an F1 car, I'm super hesitant to believe that it's in the car.
I think they have different types of cars.
They do, and they have some drivers that are about 6 feet and a little bit over, but they're also a lot skinnier.
Yeah,
that's I love the low-key burn right now. That's really good.
Said, Freddie, you're a big boy.
I do have to say, when you called me on the phone and told me that, I was extremely jealous. How can I steal Fred's identity for the weekend and just go hop in the car for him?
This is as excited as I've ever been. So we get the email literally today, like an hour, whatever time I called you. Yeah. So we get the email and I'm like, Tony, I'm about to go fast. I want to go fast.
I want to go fast.
I am speed. Right. So you've gone. What's the fastest you've ever gone?
Fastest I've gone is 186 miles an hour on a motorcycle.
Driving it yourself.
I'm driving it myself.
Like, is this in like a competition or is this in like for leisure?
It was out on an empty road.
To be fair,
I made sure there's nobody else around.
Okay.
So it wasn't like through rush hour traffic or anything like that. But I saw just a long stretch of road, and I was like, this bike is supposed to go 300K, 186 miles an hour. Let's see how fast it gets there.
300K.
And it did.
Oh, it got there way faster than I thought anything was possible.
What's it feel like in your body?
This is the weirdest thing, and it has to do with the bike. It was a 2001 Kawasaki ZX12R.
Let me Google.
Those are a bunch of letters.
Yeah, okay.
It's a bunch of letters. Basically means at the time it came out, it was, depending on who you ask, it was either the fastest bike or the second fastest bike when it came out.
So here's what you just told me. You were driving around on my Windows automated password, 2001 ZX12R. Got it.
And
this is a sexy thing.
It was beautiful.
Okay.
That was the second bike I owned when I came back from Australia, from like 5 months in Australia.
Okay.
And the scariest thing about that was how calm and stable the bike felt at that speed.
Ooh.
The faster I went, the more it felt planted. the calmer it felt on the road. I was like, this is a dangerous combination.
Yes.
This could lead to some bad things.
So obviously you're a pro wrestler, but you've been racing forever.
Oh yeah, about as long as I've had my license, so about 18. So we're at 21 years.
Okay. How does racing work? We don't ever talk about outdoor sports. We don't ever talk about motorsports. Is there associations? Is there leagues? Is it groups of guys pool money? Is it legitimate? Is it illegitimate? Is there rankings? Is there insurance? Like, how does this whole thing go down?
All of the above.
Yeah.
All of the above. So since we're talking about, since you are going to be hopping in F1 cars, I'm still
Allegedly.
we can just talk about that. So the way that basically works is that's an arm of the FIA. It's basically a large organization that governs all professional motorsports around the world.
FBI, got it.
And in a Formula One race, you've got 10 teams, 2 cars each, so you have 20 drivers in every race. And there's a qualifying process that basically dictates where you start on the grid. So in the qualifying session, just to simplify it, it's basically whoever gets the fastest time in that session gets first place, second place, all the way down to 20. Depending on things that you do, if you have to change an engine or if you broke a rule too many times, your position could get changed.
Okay, it was just sent to me by, apparently it's lots of exotic cars, not just F1, so it could be a lot of
So it could be any.
Yeah, but keep
you're
going.
still going to have a great time.
Yeah.
And so basically you have, 5 lights come on, 5 lights go out. When the lights go out, that's when the race actually starts.
Oh, we played Mario Kart.
It's very similar to Mario Kart. Yep. Beep. Exactly. They don't drift as much in F1 though, not intentionally. And it's basically, you have a set number of laps, and whoever gets to the finish line at the end of that predetermined number of laps is the winner. And they get awarded 25 points. The next driver gets 18 points, so on and so on.
All the way
It
down.
makes its way down. If you're below 10th, you get no points.
Hey, losers.
Yeah. You also get 1 extra point if you're in the top 10 and you get the fastest lap of the race. You get 1 bonus point for that. And then at the end of the season, whoever has the most points is the world champion.
And then the last few years, it's just a race for the silver medal because Max Verstappen wins everything.
Basically, yeah. I think this year he won the championship mathematically like 6 races early. And so everybody else was just fighting for second place.
So, and make sure I understand, because I don't understand. The way you win races is to have the fastest pit crew.
Part of it. That makes a huge difference, especially in F1, because we are literally talking about milliseconds.
And there was no
That can make a
punchline
race.
there. That's really what I think. Like, I very much believe that to be true.
There was a race, I want to say Brazil of last year, where it was 0.05 seconds between 3rd and 4th place. Like
That's not 1 second.
They finished like this, and at that speed, it was 0.05 seconds between them. And so, the fastest pit crew helps, fastest driver helps, best strategy helps a lot.
All right,
Because
what is the strategy for Van when they put him in a supercar at Super Bowl Media Day and they drive 186 miles per hour? What can he do to prevent his body from betraying him?
do a whole lot of neck exercises between now and then.
Okay.
Because
all right, I have a thin neck.
When you, depending on how fast the car is, if it's an F1 car, or even if it's some of the exotic cars, when they step on the brakes, if they're going to step on them aggressively, expect your head, without any control of your own, to just go forward, and you'll just be looking basically right between your legs. And if it's something like an F1 car, there's nothing you can do about it because of how much force these cars can generate.
Okay, physically, that's really good advice. Mentally, how do I stop myself from screaming like an elementary age girl who just saw a spider?
And I'm going to put a GoPro in there.
Why? First off, why would you want to stop doing that?
Okay, fair.
Enjoy the situation.
All right, tell me if the following cars are fast. If they're fast, say yes. Okay. Ferrari,
Yes.
Lamborghini,
Yep.
Porsche, McLaren, Maserati, Audi R8, Nissan GTR,
Yep.
Corvette, Mercedes-Benz, off-road Baja truck, Mustang, go-kart.
Go-kart can still be fast. There's some that obviously, like if you go to your local family like fun center and they have like the carts that you can get in and your kid can get in next to you, those aren't necessarily fast. They might go like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But there's some that are basically the closest that most of us will ever get to something like an F1 car, because you can put a like 125cc motor in it or a 250cc motor in it, and you can go fast.
This is going to be crazy, man. This is going to be so crazy.
Where does the 2011 Toyota Prius rank in your hierarchy?
Yeah, good question.
Significantly down that. Oh, in my hierarchy. Yeah, it's not a car I would drive.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, no, this thing is going to be sweet, though. We're super excited about it.
I got one for sale very soon, by the way. Yeah.
Turbo Tony Davis joining us on the program. Wrestles for Duke City Championship Wrestling, is a trainer, does a lot of stuff on his own, hosts a really cool podcast. Tell us a little bit about the podcast
Yeah.
and what goes on with that.
So today's actually going to be our third episode. It's called Made of Metal.
All right.
We're doing it on Facebook Live.
Yep.
And it's me and a friend of mine from Wisconsin. We hop on for about an hour. We talk about exercise. We talk about nutrition. Our goal with that podcast is to take all the information that I'm sure everybody knows is out there and to simplify it for people so they can actually understand the information out there and figure out how to pick something that will actually work for them.
Yeah. And so in your personal training here in town, it's have program will travel, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is you meet with an individual, you set them up for success, and you go to preferably a gym that they're most comfortable with, and then you help them reach their goals.
Yeah. Yep. And so after that first meeting, it's basically just consistent checkups for how's everything going,
Yeah.
what changes do we need to make, because just because we set that plan on day one, it doesn't mean that that's the plan that you're married to for the whole process. We could come up with this plan, you could think it sounds great, and by day 5, you're like, this plan is insane, I can't do this. So then it becomes, okay, cool, what changes do we need to make this doable for you? And then make those changes and go from there. And it's basically the scientific method on repeat, which, that's what the scientific method is.
So friends of the show can see your results in real time because you took under your wing, I don't know, what's the opposite of a blank canvas? Like a
really
chubby,
destroyed
sad,
canvas.
bulbous
Soaked
canvas.
in a lard bed.
Yeah, so you're working with the aforementioned Gabe Gambino
Correct.
on his weight loss journey, and you like taking people through the process of being him and then being healthy.
Yeah. And I mean, he started at the beginning of the month, he's already 14 pounds down.
It's wild.
So, and
It's nearly 1 stone.
what is a stone? What is that?
16 pounds?
16 pounds, there we go. I always hear it, never know what it is, look it up, and forget. So
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll forget by the time we see each other at the end of February.
Here's how I remember that, because of Bush's 16 stone. 16 is the number of pounds in a stone.
Okay.
That's my association. There you go.
Got it. And
Good album.
And so, yeah, Gabe's down 14 pounds already. We're about a month in. And for him, I take the same simple approach that I take for everybody else. We figured out a protein and a calorie goal for him based on where he wants to head with going through the program. And we just did this past weekend, we just did a video for the documentary that we're making based off of his journey.
Yeah.
Where we just did a grocery episode. So we just went to the grocery store, showed him how to shop, how we're shopping for his goals, dropped a ton of information that is more generic than just what works for Gabe,
Yeah.
in the hopes that it's like something that anybody that's watching can actually take.
Here's the key tip, babe. You don't know this about the grocery store. If you just stay on the aisles on the outside, you're fine.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Yeah, you stay in the inside. Like anywhere you go, don't go in there. Unless you're picking up a ladle, like don't go into the inside aisles. Like,
Yeah.
Stick to the outside aisles. After you do your lap, make your way out. You did a good job at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my veggie protein bars are on inside aisles, so I go in and get there. I go get those, and
You have to hide your eyes. You do the
Yeah, for sure.
disgrace.
la 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 la.
Yeah.
He's got the Duke City hat with the brim just pointed downward.
Duke City Championship Wrestling is on a tear as of late. We've had largest crowd after largest crowd after largest crowd. You, Tony, have been a big part of that. If you would please talk a little bit about the city of Albuquerque, their reaction to Duke City Championship Wrestling, and just how it's kind of changed the scene here to have monthly television tapings at the historic El Rey.
So everybody that I've talked to
Yeah.
about wrestling since its comeback has been more than ecstatic about it, because we had wrestling for a while, then we didn't for several years, and then it came back. And since it's come back, and especially now since it's on a monthly basis, like you can just know, just a Thursday in Albuquerque minus the couple of Saturday
Sure.
shows we've just had, head to the El Rey because there's going to be pro wrestling there. And everybody, it's just proven by the fact that our crowds just continually get bigger
Yeah.
and bigger and bigger. Everybody loves the show. Everybody loves coming back. I walk out during intermission or I walk out after the show and tons of people, I run into people that it's their first show.
Yeah.
I run into people that say, hey, it's my first show. You're my favorite wrestler, which is, fantastic for me to hear.
Right.
And it's just a great time.
Yeah.
Mr. Happy does the same thing. He goes up to the show. He takes pictures with everybody. Everybody loves him too. It's a great show top to bottom.
Talk a little bit about representation, though, right? Like, we're in the city of Albuquerque. There's not a lot of, strong male black athletes in the city, giving examples of what it's like to be a citizen, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel that relation to any of the audience when they're in? Does that resonate with anyone that's maybe meeting you for the first time or coming to celebrate you time after time?
I do. So when I walk out through the curtain, there's always a group of black people to the left of the stage, just down on the floor to the left.
They chose to be there. It's not seating.
That's not their section.
Yeah, they chose to be there.
Yeah.
And they're always pumped to see me.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's that instant connection
Yeah.
there. And the thing about me when it comes to like strength and just being healthy
Sure.
is I wasn't supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
You know, when I was 10, I had scoliosis, and I went to the doctor about it, and they said I would never be able to lift more than 75 pounds.
That's not a lot.
That's not a lot at all. I mean, I wouldn't be able to pick up any part of the ring
Right.
for 75 pounds. And there's a part of me that at some point when I was about 25, when I actually got into wrestling, I took that a little personally.
Yeah.
I was always thinking about it, and I was just like, what if he was wrong?
Kicked off Tony Davis.
Kicked
I like
off
that.
Tony,
Yeah.
And so I started lifting, and I got stronger, and now I'm at a point where I'm deadlifting, 400 pounds,
Yeah.
squatting about 400 pounds, bench pressing about 250, and I was like, wow, okay. And my scoliosis has significantly improved.
Good.
Just not on its own, but I attribute it to just the strength training and focusing on like proper form and getting stronger in a healthy way, in a sustainable way. And so the thing that I like to connect with people over is that there's a right way and there's a wrong way to get stronger and get healthier. And if you do it the wrong way, we all know how that ends in burnout, and people just give up. The joke about New Year's resolutions in the gym is, it's February 1st, they're all gone already.
Yeah.
And it's because they take the hyper restrictive approaches, they take basically the wrong road. But if you learn and you take the right road, you can do this sustainably, ideally for a significant portion of your life. I would say for the rest of your life. Again, if you can do it sustainably, you'll have no problems doing it for the rest of your life. And it's that sort of mindset of being told that you can't do something,
Yeah.
and then figuring out how to do it anyway that I see is most important.
I like everything about that. Tony Davis, thanks for taking the time, brother.
Hey, of course.
All right, where's your podcast at? Where can people find it?
So I'm doing it on Facebook Live tonight.
Yeah.
So if you head over to my Instagram, you'll find a link to that. Instagram is at Tony Davis Coaching, all one word put together. You'll find me there. We're going live tonight at 5:30 Mountain Time.
Oh, okay, man. So you
We
listen
got
to-
some competition
That's
on the
what I
program.
deserve.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right.
At 5:30, there are decisions to be made. Do you stick around? You make your way over to social media? Catch them only during the commercial? Who knows? Who knows? Tony, you're the best, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Whenever we get back, we're live at Sadie's. There's a ton going on in the world of the NFL, and we're going to dive into it quickly as we're giving you all the updates you need to know before next week. We're going to have a lot of fun today, man.
Let's go.
95.9 FM and AM 610, home of the Super Bowl. It's the sports animal.
This report brought to you by the
Clear.
Journal and Business Outlook. When you need local answers, the most reliable and in-depth information about health, safety, jobs, taxes, crime, energy, transportation, or government. Get the answers. Subscribe at abqjournal.com.
traffic right now. Things moving slow westbound on I-40. That's going to start right around Carlisle and last until Rio Grande. I-25 southbound of Sooner to Montgomery, dealing with some slowdowns in that area. Also, traffic moving a bit slow northbound on I-25 right now. Those slowdowns start at Gibson. They're going to last until Central. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, serving the community since 1936. World class, local style. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
You already know that 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal, is your home for the NFL postseason and Super Bowl 58. But your business could actually win free commercials in the game. Touchdown! Kansas City! Head to sportsanimалabq.com right now and enter the Supersize Your Business contest. One lucky winner will get free commercials in Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 58, airing right here on The Sports Animal February 11th. He runs out the coast for 30, breaks a tackle, he's gone! Touchdown! See! That's sportsanimалabq.com.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey,
Honey?
you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as an yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honey medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe, here to tell you the biggest thing I've learned about insurance companies over the years, and it's really simple. They don't care about you. Insurance companies are publicly traded companies who have an obligation to their shareholders to deliver profits. They have teams of investors and lawyers all working against you from the moment you call them. Hurt in a wreck? Don't be a victim of the insurance companies. Call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Carlos Uri Espinosa is the managing attorney, 2711 Carlisle Boulevard, Northeast Albuquerque.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. Dayquil Kids Berry from Vicks. Dayquil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that Dayquil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
Dayquil Kids Berry. The kids' berrylicious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids. Medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
The Jim Rome Show.
I love the game, but I don't play the game.
Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Hey, guys. Woohoo! Mike is hot.
We're back on the program. Gerber Tony stuck around with us for another one. Another one?
Lucky you, friend of the show.
Another one? Got some NFL news. All right. Tell me how you guys feel about this. Are we calling them the Washington Guardians still, or have they changed their team name?
They're supposed to change it sometime in the offseason.
Okay. So the Washington Guardians are hiring Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn as their head coach. Per league sources, Quinn and the Commanders GM Adam Peters are the two men now in charge of leading Washington into their future. As a guy who does not at all care about NFL head coaches, how do you guys feel about this?
This is the most mid 6 out of 10 average hire you could ever have. Why?
Over Bill Belichick.
Over Bill Belichick. Over some young new mastermind. Over somebody with more experience. Dan Quinn's already failed in other places. Like, it's not like he has this, this resume that's sparkling and shining. Like, oh God, we got to get this guy. This guy's the new mastermind. Look what he does. No, it's the most average thing you could possibly do. Congratulations, Commanders. You get to go 8-9 next year.
I'm immediately intrigued whenever something like this happens because there's most of the time something going on that we just didn't see because everybody would have your opinion why did this happen, right?
Yeah.
We see that in F1 when some drivers come back, we're like, why did they bring why like Lewis Hamilton just announced, or it was just announced today that Lewis Hamilton's going to Ferrari for 2025.
You would immediately make this about racing.
Yes.
Of course. And it's the same thing. It's like, why is he going to Ferrari? Like, what's going? Because we've seen Ferrari the past few years, and it's just been we'll say they've not had good years. We'll just leave it at that.
Well, and he's been with
what did Adam Driver have to do with this decision?
Yeah.
Who did he just leave?
Mercedes.
Yeah.
This is last year with Mercedes.
Yeah, and I guess the money I saw that because I saw the money. It's all of it.
Yeah,
he gets
significant.
all of it.
They're actually making more money just to give it to him.
They're printing
it just to give it to him. Yeah. And it's the exact same thing. Like I heard the news and I had the same reaction you did. I was like, that's the most the strangest
Well,
decision that I've heard
And
coming into this year.
Interesting about that, right, is we can even swing that back to football, right? Because
Yeah.
now whoever is replacing him with Mercedes is going to be the new up-and-coming hotness that will have the same support that allowed him to have so much success. And that same thing's going to happen in Dallas.
Exactly.
They're going to be a new hotshot, gunslinging defensive coordinator who's going to come in and one day is going to replace Mike McCarthy. And that's going to be a narrative for the next several years to come because of this super weird move of switching teams for no reason.
Yeah.
Or, now hear me out, instead of the Cowboys head coach, defensive coordinator Bill Belichick. You take all the heat off of him. He gets a cushy job. He gets to blitz people. He gets to secretly try to get his linebackers to hurt the quarterback instead of it being out in the open anymore. Why not? Why not Bill?
The Cowboys need to be cheaters, and Bill Belichick will help them get there.
That's the only way they're going to ascend to the top with Dak Prescott as a quarterback. You have to start cheating.
He does not.
And who better?
Exactly.
Get the guy who cheats the best.
The champ.
You remember what year was it? Tampa Bay was in the Super Bowl. Were we at that one? Was that L.A.? No. Was that Phoenix?
It was the year before. Yeah.
So it was in Tampa.
Yeah.
So in that Tampa Bay Super Bowl, Tom Brady, they have the practice facility, right? And Tom Brady's like, we don't practice outside this week. Everyone's cheating.
Uh-huh.
And everyone else on the team is like, Tom, no one's cheating. He's like, no, I'm the guy who knows.
Yeah. Trust me.
I know that
Trust
everyone
me.
is cheating. Trust your boy. I'm your boy.
Yeah, when he says everyone's cheating, you can probably put some stake behind that.
Yes, there's a handful of guys. Well, and that's the thing, too. If we are going to swing this one back to the funnest NFL/F1 mutual conversation ever, there will be cheating moving forward in this world of Mitsubishi, or Mercedes, because now you have to catch back up, right? You just lost your guy.
Yeah.
You just lost your name. So what are you doing? You're doing weird stuff with your fuel lines. These guys are so clever.
Yeah.
In every single way. But there's always the next guy who's trying really hard to cheat the system to get ahead, and the guys who do it the best for the longest, they just get looked over like, who's that guy you always talk about that would doctor the baseball? Oh,
Which one?
Yeah, the pitcher.
Gaylord Perry.
Gaylord Perry.
Yeah.
So people are like, well, that was just old Gaylord. The same thing with Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Bill does what Bill
All
does.
of the Necros.
Yes.
What is it they say? If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah.
Depending on what neighborhood you're from,
Basically,
lots of people say that.
As an Astros fan, I agree.
Is that a Ric Flair thing? If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
I want to say I also heard Eddie Guerrero say it, but that doesn't mean he came up with it.
That doesn't mean he came up with it.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero from New Mexico Highlands, man.
Yeah, there you go.
You know that.
Wowza. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Who's Eddie Guerrero?
I swear to God, dude. It's like all you do. You just try to make me mad every day. It's like I don't sit over here and make fun of your niche independent rap scene performers.
Is that Vladimir Guerrero's youngest kid that just signed to the Mets? Is that his name?
So the other day at the Royal Rumble, allegedly the story was, Brock Lesnar was supposed to come out, and then he was supposed to get eliminated by Dominic Mysterio, and then he was supposed to get beat up in Australia by Brock Lesnar. But Dominic Mysterio's kayfabe girlfriend is your actual real life Rhea Ripley.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
And she's Australian, so the idea is she was going to have to come out and beat up Brock Lesnar for beating up her boyfriend from her front of her hometown. But then Vince McMahon caught this weird lawsuit, and Brock Lesnar's in it. So
Brock Lesnar, was he even at the Royal Rumble?
No.
They pulled him, right?
Yeah.
That's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, he'll never come back.
They pulled him from everything.
They took him on buses.
Scrubbed him. Yeah.
like he's not on the semi trucks anymore.
Yeah.
Like he's got to go.
They have their highlight video that talks about like all the stats for the Rumble and the winners and Rumble positions and everything. They talked about the 5 people that have won the Rumble from number 30 spot, the final position, and they named 4 wrestlers. They didn't name the 5th person.
Oh,
like,
okay.
That level of gone.
He's getting the Benoit treatment.
Yeah.
Not quite as bad, but awful.
I agree.
Yeah. There's levels to this thing.
Yes.
It ain't that level.
No.
So that's really nice of the WWE for like the first time in the history of the organization to act with character and integrity.
Hold on.
This is a new look. It's a new look.
Spoiler.
It's the parent company.
TKO.
Yeah. The TKO's accountants are like, look, guys.
Yeah.
We can't do this.
No.
Yeah.
They're like, listen, what we really need is The Rock to come back.
Yeah.
So if we can do everything in our power.
We just signed this $5 billion deal with Netflix. We need that to stick.
Please.
The dark side on the ring of this is going to be very good.
Oh, it's going to be a whole season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Multiple seasons of Vince.
Yeah. It's actually a True Detective episode, which is the weirdest one. You put Jodie Foster out there, partner her with Vince Vaughn or whoever.
Just Law and Order.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
The last scene is Vince McMahon and his ridiculous
mustache.
Brian Wilson dyed hair and his villain mustache.
Wait, his hair dyed?
Tying a damsel to a railroad track. Credits.
And the train that's coming is only picking up more momentum. And then as it zooms in on it, like the same way that Toss the Tank Engine's face was a human face, it's just Brock Lesnar's face.
Yeah,
on front of the
exactly.
train.
God, you beat me to it. Oh.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
I was just gonna put him in the train. Fred just made him the train.
Yeah, he's the train.
Yeah.
You're like he's hanging out the side of the train, like Ace Ventura driving
yeah.
around, like I'm gonna get you.
Like the Joker in the Dark Knight, hanging out the taxi or police car.
That exactly like that. That is
Uh-huh.
the energy. Hey, speaking of cars, this is unpaid. This is not in I can only speak to the service. Our friend Chris over at Three Brothers Auto Glass
Yeah, he's a dude.
came out today to the office. I was at the office all day putting out fires. He came to the office. Like, he calls me. He says, "Hey, I'm here. I'm going to start fixing your windshield." He puts window stuff. I don't know what word to use for window. Precious bodily window fluids.
No, we're still on this, huh?
He puts those into the window, makes it look like there was never a scratch, and then he's getting ready to leave, and he's like, "Hey, homeboy, I also restore headlights, and yours look like crap." Oh, I go, "Chris, you about to upsell me?" He goes,
Of course he is.
He goes, "I'm about to upsell you on safety." Like, dang it, you know my language. So I know Three Brothers Auto Glass tagged us on some stuff on social media because they did a super good job. It was super fun. So thank you to he for coming out. My insurance worked directly with him. There was nothing to it. Yeah, handled the whole thing, and also Vane, if you look at the corporate account, we're less headlight money.
All right, I will take account of this.
That's just
put it on the ledger.
Yeah, it's
You'll appreciate it tonight, though.
Yes. I'll get to check them out tonight.
Yes.
I drove back into the parking garage just so I could see how they were like, if they were brighter.
Yeah.
It gets dark in the middle.
Yeah.
Like the third level. It's like it's a different climate in here. Everything's different.
You know what's so funny about here is we have a big city downtown. Like, you can go look at, you can go into, you can be in a big city. But then so many of the friends of the show are like, "I live next to a trail." It's like, yes, you could just go in a parking garage. We have those here. Like, there are people that come into our building, Tony, which is not Fort Knox. Our building is not Fort Knox.
No.
But people are like, "How do I use an elevator?" Like, I'm like, are you messing with me? Is this are you guys doing a little tricky, boy?
I bet you Gabe's sending them there to mess with you.
Oh, I hate Gabe. Tony, you're the best. We're going to cut you loose right here. Thank you for
Fantastic.
hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
Us. We're going to continue our day here at Sadie's. There's a lot in the news, specifically as it relates to the NFL. I want to talk about the product as it's broadcast, and I want to talk about how Nickelodeon is going to make it real weird.
I love the Nickelodeon games.
I love the Nickelodeon games, and this is their first ever Super Bowl. What do they call it? Do they call it a broadcast? Or do they call it something else? It is a broadcast. Do they have a clever name?
Slimecast.
Slimecast.
Why not?
Yeah, whatever it is. So anyway, so we'll jump into that because they made a bunch of fun announcements today. Also, Tony, you don't know this, but when we're at Radio Row, Nickelodeon comes to your table 10 times trying to force Nickelodeon personalities down your throat, and it's super weird.
And we're not going to skirt child labor laws.
Nope.
No. Adults only.
The second I see some of those Nickelodeon kids walk in, I'm going to hit that little timer on my phone, and I'm going to go, "You got 4 hours. Get them out. Let them take a nap." This is real. They come with like these Nickelodeon kids. They have like tutors and stuff that like school them in their hotel rooms, and it's the weirdest thing of all time. If you're into weird stuff, this is it.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds weird and kind of fascinating, but more weird than anything.
Not say anyone's name, but that kid we interviewed last year, that's the weirdest kid you ever met, right?
got to break it to you. You might not recall, but I was golfing that day.
Oh, you were it was me and Robert.
Yeah, I was golfing with
Oh my gosh,
Patrick
dude.
Mahomes that day.
Yeah,
Excuse me, Pat.
Yeah, Pat.
Yeah.
We sat down and interviewed that Nickelodeon kid, and I had never been more creeped out in my entire life. It was like the opening scene in a horror movie. Where we didn't even air it on the show.
Blink twice if you're in danger.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And I was like, this Nickelodeon, no. But the broadcast is kind of cool.
Yeah, the broadcast is sweet.
Is Nate Burleson doing it? We'll find out. We'll talk about it whenever we get back.
Let's do that.
Tony Davis, thank you so much, brother.
Of course, thanks
One
for having
last
me.
time, where's the podcast?
Find me on Instagram, Tony Davis Coaching, all one word together. You'll have a link to my Facebook, and that will take you to where you can find the podcast as it airs tonight at 5:30.
Oh, great. We'll be back with more. Tune on. Live from Sadie's. We're off at 6 today because of Lobo Talk. So Van and I are going to use that hour to drink with the friends of the show. So come down and meet us. We're going to do that, and it's going to be so much fun.
Agreed.
Marks, Van. Marks.
I could have one before. I'm not going to wait.
95.9 FM and AM 610. Home of the Super Bowl, the sports animal.
This report is
You guys dropped for a second, but you're fine now.
Thank you.
Here's getting low, but you need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Traffic right now, a new crash to tell you about. It is McMahon, just west of golf course, right by Loveless Westside Hospital. If you can, avoid that area altogether as they work to clean up that crash. Elsewhere around the city right now, westbound on I-40, as you approach the interchange, you're going to see congestion. That's going to last all the way down to Unser. Southbound I-25, Osuna to Comanche, traffic's moving slow. Headed west on Paseo right now between I-25 and the river, dealing with slowdowns there. Northbound on I-25 right now, starting around Gibson, you're going to see some slowdowns, and those are going to last until Central. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Make yourself at home. Shop in-store or online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The Super Bowl matchup is set. Chiefs, Niners. Are you kids on fire? Kansas City. Touchdown! CMC, the AFC champions for the fourth time in 5 seasons. And only one station has every postseason game, including the Super Bowl. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal.
Is reviewing life insurance on your New Year's to-do list? To add it, a friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped the got it done. I can't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with Select Quote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Gentlemen, are you feeling less energetic than you used to? Is your confidence not what it once was? It's time to turn the page with New Male Medical Center. It's Jeff Symbieta, and at New Male, they specialize in men's health, offering cutting-edge treatments for erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, and more. Their expert team is dedicated to helping you regain that spark and vitality. Imagine feeling energetic, confident, and at your best again, whether it's reigniting the passion in the bedroom, restoring your youthful vigor, or even tackling hair loss. New Male's personalized treatments are designed just for you. Don't let another day go by feeling less than your best. Join thousands of men who have transformed their lives with New Male. It's confidential, comprehensive, and most importantly, it's about you. Ready to discover the new you? Visit newmalemedical.com or call them at 505-652-1688 to schedule your private consultation today. That's 505-652-1688. New Mail Medical Center, where your new chapter begins.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. Dayquil Kids Berry from Vicks. Dayquil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that Dayquil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
Dayquil Kids Berry. The kids' berry-licious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen here. Join me and my compadre, Chris Brockman, every Monday on the Overreaction Monday podcast as we dive into the latest headlines across the NFL playoffs. Are you ready, Chris Brockman?
Just as handsome as ever, buddy.
I appreciate you saying that, and I wish I could say the same to you. There's a ton to overreact to, as now every other team that didn't make the playoffs, they're already looking forward to next year. Come react or overreact with us leading up to the big game. Oh,
Here we go.
Yep.
wherever you listen.
New Mexico Sports Authority, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Back on the program. Live up here at 6 for the Lobo Talk. Remember, you see the game, the Lobos have like won. Are you up to speed on like how well the Lobos are doing?
Well, do you see what happened last night?
Okay, I mean, what are you going to try to put a wet blanket on everything? Like, what's this?
They've been playing really well.
A season,
especially
isn't
at
one
home.
game, Amory.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
It's just not one game.
I don't
It's
know
a
what
whole
you mean
season.
like this. I mean, we're number
I
19.
hope most Lobo fans feel that way.
Ebb and flow, up and down.
Aren't we number 19? Is that right? I think that's right.
I'm gonna say this word. It's like a past tense word. We were.
You don't think we?
You can't hang a L at home to Boise State and expect to be in the same spot. But still, fantastic start from your Lobo men's basketball.
Cool. Women got a bunch of day games coming up. That's like weird. I don't think I like that. I want prime time. Like, if we're going to play, put me under the lights. Put me in front of the fans. That's the way it should be.
Well, that's the way it always is. No matter what time of day, if you're at the pit, baby, it's prime time.
I don't know if all these games are at the pit. CBS has confirmed that SpongeBob will perform Sweet Victory to kick off Nickelodeon's first ever Super Bowl broadcast.
That is dope.
What is Sweet Victory?
That is the SpongeBob song that's been covered ad nauseum by tons and tons and tons of bands.
I've never heard of it. What is it?
The second you hear it, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that thing.
Amory, do you know what that is?
Let's come back.
No, not at all.
Hold on. Let's not just come back to it. Let's just play that damn thing now.
What is it called? Sweet Victory?
Sweet Victory.
I mean, cool. Now, is this the same thing where SpongeBob had that commercial in 2019 and people thought it was going to be a part of it, but it wasn't? And people were like, it's like, or was that Sicko? Is that what it was? Is this ringing a bell with you at all?
Not at all. No.
It was like Sicko. What is Sicko mode? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a song by Travis Scott.
So maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Where was, is this it?
That's what it says on YouTube. SpongeBob SquarePants Sweet Victory.
It's relatively epic. Crank this mother up.
And this is the Calvin Harris.
It's kind of like Journey and Queen.
Who wrote it?
Bob.
It's kind of like an 80s power ballad.
It's an 80s power ballad. We will rock you.
I've never heard this, but I can recognize it. This is good for an like a radio. I can't understand the words.
It's like the ironic kind of ballad when people play something. It turned into like a joke. Like people started taking it seriously. The real bands that cover like coming out at a concert.
Here's how I know I'm kind of old.
Yeah.
I've never seen an episode of it. I don't know the names of the characters outside of the title character of SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know what the intro song sounds like. Like I have zero understanding.
You know what the song sounds like.
Is it the 60 Minutes thing? Like
Yes, Who Lives in a Pineapple Under the Sea?
What?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
What is that?
Everybody knows that one.
You are losing me right now.
Okay, SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm surprised it's lasted this long because when my adult daughter was a youngster, watched a lot of SpongeBob SquarePants, and there's only two appropriate ways to watch SpongeBob SquarePants.
Why are you saying the full thing? Is it not just called SpongeBob, or did I think that?
This is all in your head.
Okay.
The first way to watch SpongeBob SquarePants is with a child. They will laugh, they will giggle, and it's a great time for everyone. The other way is with a bunch of late teen and young 20 stoners, and they will laugh and giggle in the exact same method as those children.
I don't want to hang out with those kids anyways.
But when you were one,
I was never one.
I was.
Yes, you lived that burnout life. Do kids today still watch SpongeBob SquarePants?
It's still going.
My nephew is obsessed since he was a little kid. So he
How old is he?
He's 14 now, but he's been obsessed with it like his whole life.
Is he a burnout?
No.
Okay. So what Van was just describing sounded to me like it was a bunch of kids that went to school and stood a block off school grounds smoking cigarettes all day, and then watched this thing and thought it was funny.
That's not what we were smoking. No. Cigarettes weren't part of this process.
The texter, lots on the texter are hitting me up with I like SpongeBob. There's one gal in my life who's in her early to mid 20s who tells me regularly how I'm not culturally relevant. And I don't know if I have just completely missed this one, but I don't think this has ever been relevant in my demo surrounding demo.
That's pretty accurate. It's fair for you and your age group.
Yeah.
And you're like, if I know your Venn diagram of interests, I don't see any overlaps with SpongeBob in the middle. But me having a young child right when SpongeBob came out, and then also really enjoying the Jazz Cabbage when I was younger, SpongeBob hit really hard at the time. And I'm just so surprised that it's still culturally relevant and SpongeBob's still a big deal. Big enough for him to open the Super Bowl with Sweet Victory.
I made a joke to an 8-year-old the other day. This was the joke, okay?
Okay.
I said, Bert said to Ernie, would you like some ice cream? And Ernie said, sure, Bert. That's the joke.
Yeah.
This 8-year-old didn't watch Sesame Street.
Sure.
The joke doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
That's a good joke for children who are familiar with Sesame Street. I, over here at 39 years old, was still assuming that hashtag kids these days just watch Sesame Street. They do not.
No, you've missed a lot in the last couple decades, buddy. You've missed a lot. And don't let that stop you from making that joke over and over again. Because I love to see you flame every time you tell it
That's
to
why
a
it's
child
such a good joke
who has no idea what Sesame Street is. And in turn, I promise to you, I won't quit making 20-year-old references to HBO's hit series, The Wire.
SpongeBob SquarePants, my knowledge of that is the exact same reason I have knowledge of the Kardashians. Like, I've never seen an episode.
Through others. Yeah, it's forced upon you.
Yes.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
What's that called? Not like forced on you like Vince McMahon, but forced on you like osmosis.
Osmosis.
Yeah.
You define the word with the word in it.
So that's why I came up with the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I am aware of SpongeBob SquarePants, because I think I've seen T-shirts.
A lot of SpongeBob T-shirts. A lot of SpongeBob pajama pants. Oftentimes, too many times, SpongeBob pajama pants in public.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Pajamas in public is unacceptable. I can't handle that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And if this audience you're talking about is now late 20s, maybe early to mid 30s, the NFL's not struggling to get that demographic. Like, I might be a little confused on placement of this thing.
Well, it's to the point where SpongeBob's like the face of the company. SpongeBob is to Nickelodeon.
Oh, they own him?
Yeah, SpongeBob.
Okay.
SpongeBob is to Nickelodeon as Mickey Mouse is to Disney. So when you refer to Disney as a big mouse or whatever, it's the same thing with SpongeBob. He's like that relevant to the Nickelodeon universe or Nickelodeon sphere.
Yeah, I mean, the internet agrees with you. They say that, in fact, SpongeBob is the mascot of Nickelodeon. I would not have got that. I would have thought it was like slime.
That is still relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still, the slime is still a big deal on Nickelodeon, but I think, God, I don't know, 15-ish years ago, SpongeBob became more prevalent than slime on Nickelodeon.
Their logo, as I recall, it might not be, is just orange slime.
Yeah, the word Nickelodeon with slime dripping behind it. Yeah, or from it.
Or was it like a blimp? I know that sounds weird.
A blimp?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It was a blimp for a while as well.
I don't know what the blimp is.
Also,
that was the award thing they had. They would give that out to they did like Nickelodeon awards or
correct.
whatever. Or did they give out surfboards? That was MTV.
The Nick Awards.
Yeah.
Gave out the blimpies.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll put a little slime on top. I know very little about Nickelodeon, as it turns out.
And I'm sure, friend of the show, you haven't, unless you got young kids who you're trying to get interested in football, you might not have clicked over to the Nickelodeon football game before. It's been going on for years now. I find it wildly interesting. The production value on the Nickelodeon football games is fan-bleeping-tastic. And I will definitely go back and forth from Nickelodeon and the regs at the Super Bowl.
Like that a lot. We'll step away so we can come back. Now, Amory, we have 1 hour left. Is that correct?
Yes, you have 1 hour, and then Lobo Talk takes over at 6 p.m.
All right. So I just got a text from.
Is Rob Portnoy going to be there?
Yes, he hosts
Sweet.
it.
Well, then I'm listening.
I like him a lot.
He's so good at stuff.
Yeah, that's one of my guys. So, friend of the show, LA, just texted me, and it's just screenshots of SpongeBob SquarePants wearing a Sweet Victory outfit, and apparently the Sweet Victory outfit is some sort of Russian propaganda. I can't figure this thing out.
Oh, I'm so stoked. Let's dive into this.
Like, what is this? That's Soviet-esque.
He is not Soviet. That's like a marching band leader.
Like a drum major?
Sure. Yeah, and the goofy hat.
Comrade SpongeBob. All right, we're leaving. We'll be back. 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, home of the Super Bowl, live from Sadie's on 4th, the sports animal.
This report is
Claire?
Pajarito Ski Resort. Calling all snow lovers. Head up to Pajarito Mountain this winter for world-class skiing starting at just $25. The Little Bird has top-notch instructors, trails for all levels, plus $10 in Bird Bucks resort credit every Thursday and Friday with a lift ticket. Ski the Little Bird. Learn more at pajarito.ski.
Well, taking a look at traffic right now, you're going to want to avoid the area of McMahon and Golf Course. They've got police activity there. They're going to divert you away from that area, so just avoid it altogether if you can. Elsewhere around the city right now, westbound on I-40, congestion as you approach the interchange. That's going to last until Unser. Southbound on I-25 right now, Osuna to Montgomery, traffic moving slow there. Also dealing with a little bit of a slowdown northbound I-25. From Gibson to Lomas, westbound on Paseo, I-25 until the river, traffic moving slow there. Also westbound on Alameda right now, 2nd Street to Coors, dealing with some congestion in that area. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, serving the community since 1936. World class, local style. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Zach Gelb with the CBS Sports Minute. The Washington Commanders had some excitement brewing. A new owner, they snagged the hottest GM candidate on the market. QB at number 2 in the NFL draft. Come April. After Ben Johnson passed on taking a head coaching job, the Commanders hired Dan Quinn. DQ is a solid coach, but after all this hype and excitement as to who the next coach would be, it's impossible to hear this news and not be underwhelmed by it. I'm Zach Gell.
Telling it like it is. So I don't think the organization is overcommitted to Mike McCarthy. There's no coaching salary cap. You can move on, Mike. You can move. Thanksgiving. I don't think the team's overcommitted to Mike. I think the question becomes, how committed are you to Dak?
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at 1 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Winter is hitting hard, and the cold weather makes it easy for dirt, mud, and road salts to stick to your car. It's Jeff Symbieta and my friends over at On the Spot Automotive Detailing can help keep your car clean this winter. You don't have the time? On the Spot Automotive Detailing will do it for you.
I got nice jeans. I got slacks.
It's convenient, and when they're done, your car looks, feels, and smells like it's brand new. 2023, because they're reliable, efficient, and the best when it comes to what they do. Book online today. Go to otsdetailing.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Blake's Slaughterburger has been a New Mexico favorite since 1952. They use the best ingredients like their very own Hatch green chili and fresh premium beef patties. And they cook your food fresh when you order it. Blake's Slaughterburger, the first there was, the best there is.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. Dayquil Kids Berry from Vicks. Dayquil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that Dayquil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
Dayquil Kids Berry.
Here you go.
Coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids. Medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
Just with you. Anywhere.
Anywhere with cell service.
Download the KNML app in the Google Play or iTunes App Store. Just search KNML.
The texter needs to lay off. Hey, I'm sorry I don't love the thing that you loved as a child. Like, lay off of me. Did you love Red Dwarf?
See, that's a great example. What you loved when you were a kid isn't relevant to everyone.
No.
Yeah.
Miss me. Super miss me.
Not everyone loved Thundercats.
No.
Not everyone still owns a Lionel doll.
I was about to say the name Lion.
All right, guys, they're not dolls, they're action figures. I get it.
What was the name of that crappy one? Snarf. Snarf sucked. You seem like a big Snarf guy, Van.
Oh, I love Snarf. Snarf, Snarf. SpongeBob's creator, Fred, Steven Hillenburg. His real career was a marine biologist.
All right, interesting.
He pitched the show to Nickelodeon. When he had the meeting with the board, he just brought in a fish tank with live fish and crabs and all kinds of stuff in
And
it.
it kept distracting the board.
And he dropped in a cartoon picture of SpongeBob and said, "This is the star of your show. Congratulations on your new hit."
That's not real.
That is true.
What's a cartoon picture? Like a
Cartoon. There was like real fish and crabs and
oh, was it like a
plant-
cell, like a Disney one with Mickey Mouse on it?
and it's just dropped in
Yeah.
the drawing of SpongeBob, not just a sponge. It wouldn't have been as cool.
Have you ever been to like an aquarium with nothing else to do in the day? Like you can get lost in an aquarium in one single spot for hours. Aquariums slap, dude.
They're wild. We're gonna be right around the corner from
Let's
a
go.
really good aquarium.
Man, let's go to that
in Vegas.
Can we go to that?
Yes, we can.
Hey, Marie, do you want to go to an aquarium with me and Van?
Oh, we got a not an immediate no.
I'll think about it. Depends what day you guys go.
The day you're available, we're gonna obviously go with you.
Also, we got to represent New
We're
Mexico.
gonna be really busy.
So
we got to represent New Mexico and go to Meow Wolf too while we're there. We got to squeeze that in.
I know a guy.
Fred, I go to the casinos.
Hey, there are a bunch of underwater hotels you can stay in.
Yes.
Oh, this is wild. 70 grand for a night? Oh, some aren't that bad. They're under $1,000. I don't want to be in that one. Okay. If I'm staying at a hotel under the ocean or whatever water, give me the most expensive one. I don't want one that's spared expense.
Yeah, if you're going to be literally underwater with that kind of pressure all around you.
Yeah, remember that submarine?
Probably the nicest one only.
There's one in Berlin that's under $300. There you go. Hey, Marie,
SpongeBob's original name was supposed to be Sponge Boy.
until what? Oh, until Bubble Boy stole his
changed
shine. That's how long ago that thing came out.
Yes, Fred.
Bubble Boy was relevant.
Yes.
Speaking of feeling old, guys, I'm going to tell you what happened 20 years ago today.
So,
in the world of sports.
I love back in the day.
Whenever we get that.
Throwback Thursday at Sadie's.
That might be the best contribution Amory's ever had.
You're welcome.
I really like that. It's 2 men on. 95.9 FM and AM 610. Live from Sadie's on Forest Gump. Hang out with the boys. We're only on air for 1 more hours. And then we're going to drink margs.
Yeah, we are.
The sports anchor.
Clear, guys.
Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees.
I'm not so weird that I won't give up on that entire product. But if I see that product getting rid of everyone, I'm like, okay, I'm doubling down. Sure. I had this for a couple of weeks, but it is.
This report brought to you Federal Credit Union. Banking without the bank.
Stop the revolving door in your high-interest credit cards. Consolidate your debt with a personal loan from Sandia Area. One rate, one payment. Financial freedom is closer than you think. Apply today at sandia.org/forward. Sandia Area. Better banking without the bank. Sandia Area is an equal opportunity lender and membership is required.
And traffic right now, we've got that police activity in the area of McMahon Boulevard and Golf Course Road. You're going to want to avoid that altogether. They are diverting people away from it. So just seek out an alternate route if you can. Elsewhere around the city right now, dealing with congestion, I-40 westbound approaching the interchange. That's going to last until Unser. I-25 southbound between Osuna and Montgomery. Traffic's moving slow there. Also dealing with congestion on Paseo headed west between I-25 and the river. And seeing a little bit more congestion right now, westbound Alameda approaching 2nd Street. That'll last until Coors. Also northbound I-25 right now between Gibson and Central. Traffic moving a little slow there.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Let Express Employment Professionals help you hire for contract or full-time jobs. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to ExpressPros.com to find the location near you. That's ExpressPros.com.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Make yourself at home. Shop in-store or online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. It took me all the way until today to get into that pregame beef between Justin Tucker and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. You remember, they were in the end zone. Tucker was warming up. The Chiefs came in. They wanted to move his stuff. He moved it, but not far enough. And then after the game, Tucker said, I don't really know what the big deal is. It was just a little bit of gamesmanship. I was having a little bit of fun. I get that, except Kelce and Mahomes were not having fun, and they're still talking about it. You might say the whole thing is just so stupid, and I'm not going to say you're wrong. You might say the whole thing is petty, and I'm also going to agree with you. But petty always is awesome, especially when it involves GOATs and legends. Part of what makes them GOATs and legends is they thrive on petty. So why give them that? Memo to Niner kicker Jake Moody. Stay out of Pat's way in Vegas, my dude.
Listen up, New Mexico. I am Zach Brand, General Manager of Capital Ford, your hometown Ford dealer. We are family owned and operated. Capital Ford has been providing Northern New Mexico with the best prices and best experience. Capital Ford is your hometown good folks, great choice, low price, we make it easy Ford dealer. We will help you find your perfect car or truck just the way you want it. That's what hometown good folks, great choice, low price, we make it easy Ford dealer does best. Visit us today at 4490 Cerritos Road in Santa Fe or online at capitalfordsantafe.com.
Gentlemen, are you feeling less energetic than you used to? Is your confidence not what it once was? It's time to turn the page with New Male Medical Center. It's Jeff Symbieta, and at New Male, they specialize in men's health, offering cutting-edge treatments for erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, and more. Their expert team is dedicated to helping you regain that spark and vitality. Imagine feeling energetic, confident, and at your best again, whether it's reigniting the passion in the bedroom, restoring your youthful vigor, or even tackling hair loss. New Male's personalized treatments are designed just for you. Don't let another day go by feeling less than your best. Join thousands of men who have transformed their lives with New Male. It's confidential, comprehensive, and most importantly, it's about you. Ready to discover the new you? Visit newmalemedical.com or call them at 505-652-1688 to schedule your private consultation today. That's 505-652.
Oh, it's ready. You're coming. Like right in about 10 seconds.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The Sports App, proud to be a Cumulus media station.
Even if they're not that.
Now batting for the sports animal. Number 2.
Good thing you do radio.
Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
I just have a
Okay.
terrible personality.
Circle. Marie Castillo.
I like how Van has no words. Hold on.
Were either one of you talking?
Mike is hot.
We had a whole bunch of stuff set for the second half of the show, the final hour. And Van goes, throw it all out the window. I'm watching the quarterback challenge.
Yeah, Marie, you and Fred are going to have to do all the heavy lifting. I'm so glad they brought this back. I love the quarterback challenge.
It's like they're doing it, Marie, like NFL street style. So the quarterbacks are all wearing their uniforms, but they're wearing them like, Van, what do you want to call this? Urbaned up?
Urbaned up, sure.
Oh, yeah, cultured up.
Yeah, they're like monochrome colors. And they
Yeah.
got hoodies on underneath, and everything's like bright behind them.
And then the interviewer is just wearing like a zip up cardigan, and it's like, this is mellow, right? Like, I bet kids are going to love this.
Whoever the interviewer is right now, it's like a reverse referee.
Yes, yeah, that's a very good descriptor of what he is. And so Baker Mayfield's in it, which...
Oh, I was going to ask which quarterbacks.
Yeah, so, all right, so it's Baker Mayfield. I believe Tua is in it because I see the Dolphins mascot. And then whatever other quarterbacks are in the Pro Bowl. So CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud's going to wipe the floor with everybody.
So Steve,
hey, hurry up. Get Hey, Marie, can you get a bet in for me real quick? CJ Stroud wins the quarterback challenge.
I wish I could.
You're so addicted.
Can't or won't?
I can't because I'm here with you
So
guys.
the quarterback challenges, they're on, what is this, like the 35, you think, man? And they're just throwing at moving pylons that look like dialects from
Oh, you beat me
Doctor
to
Who.
it, you
Yeah.
jerk.
Did I say that correctly?
Exterminate.
Yeah.
Exterminate.
And then, all right, so Amory, downfield at the goal line, the way it's set up is there's moving targets, and then the targets look like they're like exercise gymnastics, or excuse me, trampolines.
They look like mini trampolines.
Yeah, that you get at the YMCA or whatever.
Correct.
And I mean, this is actually kind of a cool thing, if we're being honest. It's if you were to go to Dave & Buster's, you would put real money, not just tickets, into this game.
I would live at the place that this game was played.
Yeah.
If this was at Dave & Buster's, I would buy an apartment right next to it.
I'm a big Carney games guy. I love carnival games. I'm a big fan of like Papa Shot. I'm a big fan
Sure.
of knock over the milk bottle, but also you have to explain to children what a milk bottle is.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of all of those games of quote unquote skill that are all like created to go against you statistically or whatever. This seems like it's completely skill based. CJ Stroud just threw a ball 45 yards and missed a toilet bowl by about an inch.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I forget the name of the gaming establishment. That you sorry, new friend of the show, you don't get an unpaid advertisement here. But they have the throw the fastball game. You throw it as hard as you possibly can and try to get it as close to the center as you possibly can.
And you get points.
You get points for it. And I was playing with my daughter, and after I did it, I had a very high score, and I was very proud of myself. And she said, "Dad, you took yourself way too seriously. You're gonna hurt yourself." And I was like, "Oh, I'll hurt in the morning for sure."
In my younger years, I would go to Busch Stadium all the time for baseball, and they had one of those speed tracker things or whatever.
Yeah.
So me and the boys would regularly bet beers on the speed. So whoever threw the fastest didn't have to buy a beer. Like if you threw what's a number I could easily throw? 70 miles per hour.
Sure.
So you throw 70 miles per hour, and it was, could you throw another one 70 miles per hour? And if you could hit 70 again, everyone had to buy you a beer. You know, there were all these like fun, like skill games that weren't part of the game. Like it didn't matter if you won or lose. You're gonna come out beer ahead or beer below, and that's fine because everyone gets beer.
I'll tell you the secret to beating those games is you pay off the guy running the computer. you slide him a little bill. Be like, "Hey, buddy, why don't you turn that thing up when I walk up to the pitching mound?"
All right, so Geno Smith is also in this, Amory. And he looks like he's in it to win it. I don't know how else to describe that in this competition. You would not easily be confused on who sponsored this either, because it's definitely Lowe's.
Hey, Geno Smith didn't stop improving. Look at him now.
Oh my God. What you need for this event, and we don't have the volume on, obviously, because we're at Sadie's. We just need me and you to riff over it. But like a public one where Geno can hear us roasting him during. Like if we were doing a roast of all these guys while they were doing it, this would be like a ratings topper. Like there's no doubt in my mind.
Oh, I 100% agree. And it's not like they're going to scare. Like they're not going to get nervous because someone's making fun of them.
No.
They play in front of friggin' 50,000 people once a week. But if you get that one zinger in and they lose their focus.
Yeah. That reaction to it. I love that. And then you would have a camera on both of it, like two GoPros for us telling the joke, and then one on his face for the reaction. Oh, mwah.
Or one hovering drone on his face for the reaction.
20 years ago today. You guys have a guess?
Baker is leading this thing.
20. So 2004, Ushers. Yeah, it came out.
Okay. Oh, that's Little John. I screwed that one up. 20 years ago today.
He was in a Little John song.
I'm trying to think where you're going with this.
The Janet Jackson nipple slip.
Oh,
At
that's prude today.
At the halftime of the worst named Super Bowl ever, XXXVIII.
You know, those are numbers, Fred. They're Roman numerals. That's not the name of the Super Bowl.
What? I thought the last one was named after the Live Golf Tournament.
It's 2 ago.
Tua's in this competition today. What are you going on about? Do you guys remember whenever that did happen and like the handful of people who, by the way, it's also the best halftime show ever because it had Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake and P. Diddy and Kid Rock and Jessica Simpson, and it was headlined by Nelly. Do you guys remember that?
You're remembering it differently than, I don't know, the world.
Oh, best one ever. And the guys who had TiVo on for that had it.
Yeah.
Because there was no YouTube.
Do you have TiVo and email? You're going to make a killing, brother.
Hey, man. I heard you had it on your TV and, like, you still had it. Like, could we just, like...
Hey, Fred, look, it's got your little Coug brother here.
Could we, like, back it up? Like, would it be a possibility if we came over and hung out for the night that we just backed up that TiVo a little bit? Like, that was how that thing was shared.
Sure.
Amongst, like, so many people. And that was 20 years ago.
20 years ago. And I was like, yeah, guys, you know internet pornography already exists. Seeing a third of a nipple isn't that great of news. It was an accident, guys. Chill out.
And it was, if you guys remember, and also I guess I called it a nip slip. I probably shouldn't have because this thing was choreographed, pre-planned, and put together perfectly. Because Janet enjoys the pierceness and had that heart brooch in it. So whenever this thing comes off, like that's the feature. And then Justin, who ends up being really weird, according to Britney Spears' book, he gets zero pushback for this thing in the moment. And then Janet Jackson catches it forever. And I'm like, how does Team JT never catch any flack?
Can I explain to you real quick, Fred? You got a minute?
Uh-huh.
The history of America. There's a wild melanin difference in between those two humans.
When I was 16, I loved that.
Yeah.
19? How old was I? 19? 19? I loved that. Nelly was right there.
It was like a non-story to me. Like, I think you were more excited for Nelly than you are Janet Jackson's nipple.
Is it the most collective pop culture overreaction in history?
It has to be.
It could very well possibly be.
The problem wasn't that there was a nipple hanging out on national television. The problem was it was the Super Bowl, the most watched thing of the year every year. And angry grandma was there. Yeah, Janet Jackson, that harlot, forced a nipple upon me.
And then they sit at home all day watching Cops.
Exactly.
Like,
uh-huh.
What's going on here?
I had to put down my Fabio novel to see this debauchery.
That video, there was like two things I remember about the internet. That video, the search for that video on the internet, and then Jennifer Lopez's green dress. You remember this from whatever the Oscars were a billion years ago?
No, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I bet
What?
we'll see it.
You will know. Google it.
There's something about your boy Van you two might not know.
Well, in the conspiracy,
in that time of my life,
Drugs.
in that time of the world, I kind of like was dropped out. Like I really didn't care about pop culture. Pulled me back in the last decade or so. I really didn't care at all at the moment.
well, and if you remember, it was like the first, like, at least in my opinion, that I recognized, like cultural, like market media manipulation that I saw people falling for. Because that stage, if you guys remember, was sponsored by AOL Internet. You know, it was like AOL Top Speed Internet, whatever. And you're like, well, after this thing that made everyone use the internet,
Yeah.
like you put your product in the perfect place. Like,
Is this the J-Lo green dress? And she would like hold it to the side,
Yeah.
and she looks like a frilled neck lizard.
would you call
like
it
that one?
Would you call
Little-
that a V-neck?
Like that kind of lizard?
Would you call it a V-neck or a more than V-neck?
It looks like the letter I to me. More like-
Yeah, down to the past the belly button.
I can see why this could cause a stir.
Also, if you're talking about this today with anyone in your world and you're not sharing a clip of the video, I feel like you're not doing it correctly.
But this looks more like, instead of like a dress, this looks more like she was actually nude and somebody photoshopped clothes onto her.
Your dudes that you like, the South Park dudes, wore it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, they wore it to a thing.
Oh, is that the one where they went to the Oscars on acid?
All right, so the internet is saying that this is literally the reason that YouTube was born. Because the creators of, I don't know if this is real or not, that they couldn't find the video reliably. That can't be real.
South Park guys, I do remember that. That's very funny. I didn't know the reference. I thought they were just being weird.
A. Marie's NFL headlines whenever we get back.
Ooh, I love that segment.
Is that true, or do we have a guest? Whenever we get back, it's either headlines or a guest.
Or both.
Or,
Whoa.
we have a guest during headlines. 2 men on, live from Sadie's on 4th, 95.9 FM and AM 610. Home of the Super Bowl. The sports animal.
This report is
clear
by Blake's Lottaburger.
Fish is back at Blake's Lottaburger. Wild caught Icelandic haddock served with our signature green chili tartar sauce. Reel in this crispy beer battered catch in a 3-piece boat over natural cut fries or on a toasted gourmet bun. Available at all Blake's Lottaburger's locations for a limited time only.
And traffic right now, we've got that police activity in the area of McMahon Boulevard and Golf Course Road. You're going to want to avoid that altogether. They are diverting people away from it. So just seek out an alternate route if you can. Elsewhere around the city right now, dealing with congestion, I-40 westbound approaching the interchange. That's going to last until Unser. I-25 southbound between Osuna and Montgomery. Traffic's moving slow there. Also dealing with congestion on Paseo headed west between I-25 and the river. And seeing a little bit more congestion right now, westbound Alameda approaching 2nd Street. That'll last until Coors. Also northbound I-25 right now between Gibson and Central. Traffic moving a little slow there. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, serving the community since 1936. World class, local style. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The Super Bowl matchup is set. Chiefs, Niners. Are you kids on fire? Touchdown! Kansas City! Touchdown! CMC! The AFC champions for the 4th time in 5 seasons. And only one station has every postseason game, including the Super Bowl.
95.9 FM and AM 610.
The sports animal.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except the stuffy nose.
Mommy.
That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Hi, I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Many people think all injury lawyers are the same. Their experience is the same, and that the outcome of their case will be not true. Hurt in a wreck? Be cautious of which personal injury firm you hire. Look for a law firm with a proven track record of results, like Lerner & Rowe. We've collected billions of dollars for over 150,000 injured people.
Multi-state settlements. Carlos Obri Espinosa is the managing attorney, 2711 Carlisle Boulevard, Northeast Albuquerque.
Did you know some ordinary cold medicines can raise your blood pressure? That's alarming. Fortunately, there's Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. It's specially formulated without alcohol, sugar, or decongestants to provide fast, powerful cold and flu symptom relief for people with high blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, try DayQuil High Blood Pressure, the daytime coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, colds, and flu for people with high blood pressure medicine. use as directed, and keep out of reach of children.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Jeff Symbieta. Friday on the opening drive. Did you enjoy the Pro Bowl games? And we'll kick it with Kenny Thomas and talk Lobo Hoop in the NBA. JJ Buck and I start the opening drive at 7 a.m.
Back on the program. Gilbert Sadies is here. Gilbert, welcome.
I should change my last name to that, right?
Sadies?
Yeah.
Gilbert Sanchez.
Gilbert Sadies.
What's next to you right here?
We got some. I had a 4-pack of these after last night's Lobo game.
What are these?
Responsibly had 4 Desert Peach Sadie's margaritas.
Prickly pear margarita.
You
for
got
me.
prickly pear there. We got the classic.
Got the OG there too, baby.
Yeah.
Why did you bring these to us? What are we going to do with them?
Well, I'm hoping
Yeah.
that we can take these to Vegas.
Let's go. Let's
Take
go.
them to Vegas. Let's get Las Vegas into the Sadie's game.
All right, Amory, you're about to be a mule across state lines for classic margs. Now, we are doing an inventory before we give these to you, Amory, passenger in transit to Vegas. We're doing a complete inventory for our Sadie's giveaways at Radio Row.
Drink responsibly, drive responsibly, all of the above?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not driving.
Oh,
nice. All right,
perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get in there then. Someone's got to drive. Well, I guess you could put them on a plane.
No, we have Amory is bringing a valet.
Ooh.
From Albuquerque. She has a personal driver.
Wild. All right,
Yeah.
well then, no, you still, I don't know what Arizona's like and
Thirsty.
Nevada.
You get
Can
thirsty.
you drink?
It's awful.
Can you drink in the back seat?
I don't
do
know.
that here.
I don't know. I don't know.
In Missouri, you can open container. I know that from lots of.
We're not going to open container on the way to Vegas.
You don't have to
But
lie
when we
to us.
get there,
Yeah, we got to save it. It's a long week.
long week.
You guys are gonna be there all week.
That's
Yes.
Longer than 1 week.
Oh, no, it's
we're going to be there 3 times the recommended amount of time to be in
Yes.
Vegas.
If
Yeah,
any,
too
if
long.
If any of the friends of the show want to cover us on February the 12th, just reach out.
Yeah.
We'll say yes.
Wow, really?
It's gonna be
someone
bad.
just
It's gonna be
sitting.
bad.
Yeah,
It's going to be as bad as the Lobo game last night.
that wasn't fun. Like I said, I had some adult beverages, Sadie's adult beverages after last night's game, but it's okay. It's one game.
It was the worst one.
Donovan came by, I didn't see him. Came by, had his triple threat nachos before the game.
And you think that's what failed
Yeah,
him?
I
he put up a 30 burger.
I think
He's
that
the only
my
one that showed up.
Triple threat. See, he
Yeah.
knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He knew
Good
what he was
name
doing.
for-
Put up 30. We've also decided after last night's Boise State performance, no rice here. I'm changing the rules. We're not serving rice.
Because you hate former Orlando Magic shooting guard Glenn Rice?
Not Glenn Rice or his son Glenn Rice Jr.
I'll have to check, see if that's true.
It's his
I don't
nephew.
think it's Magic.
His nephew, Max Rice, who plays for Boise State and set a career high last night in the pit.
Yeah, if you want to blow off some steam and you want to, say, you know what? I'm going to stick it to Rice. Now's your chance. Come down to Sadie's and enjoy some papitas instead of rice.
Did you know that Brock Purdy's nickname is the San Francisco Treat?
Is that not an infringement on another rice dish?
Came up with it on the show.
Real New Mexicans know Papa's over rice anyways.
Yeah.
And you guys don't even carry rice.
Yeah.
You get-
I mean, don't take my thunder. I mean, that was a good just
such a good joke, though.
I'm sure
That's a fantastic joke.
The Boise blog writers are, did you hear they're not going to serve rice at a restaurant because of what happened? No, we don't serve rice, but it's fun to support no rice.
You've never had rice?
Now we do serve it for like caterings and stuff like that. But if you wanted to come in, dine here,
leave, turn around and leave.
It's Papa's, baby. Papa's or Calabasitas only.
Yes.
Calabasitas is my favorite one.
It's a good one.
Of everything that you guys hear, Calabasitas is number one.
It's up there. I'm not a big onion fan.
What?
I'm not a big onion guy.
You on this very program said you've never eaten a
That's true.
vegetable.
I forgot we did talk
You've
about
never
that.
eaten a vegetable your
knowingly,
whole life.
Knowingly.
Except for blended tomatoes and delicious Sadie salsa.
That's right.
Like, that's it.
Where do you get your satire news?
My satire news?
Yeah.
Reddit.
So not the Onion.
I mean, it may make its way.
Softballed
Is that still
that
a
one
thing?
right in
Is
there.
that
Couldn't hit it.
still a thing?
Don't know.
I mean, these are all good. I would have got these in like 2004.
The problem is real news every day sounds like the
Yeah,
Onion.
you can't tell anymore.
That's a good one.
You can't tell. I mean, I came in here and said I drank 4 of these margaritas, which I didn't last night.
How many did you drink?
I didn't have any. I was responsible. I went straight to bed. I didn't need any after that game. I just was.
Gilbert does what I do, and he takes his least favorite glass or dish and goes out in the backyard and throws it up against the wall.
That's right.
If Gilbert had drinking 4 margaritas after every bad Lobos loss this season, Gilbert would have drank a total of 4 margaritas.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
You had your worst game of the year, and it's only the 4th one.
It was still. I mean, it was. If we would have made half of our missed shots, a lot of missed shots. It's okay.
Yeah.
It happens.
If Donovan Dent would have brought
the team
House and Mash over here,
that's what they need
to have some triple threat nachos, it might have been a different story yesterday.
90 points combined.
So let's say hypothetically, Mashburn gets a meal here at Sadie's, which is not a thing. It doesn't exist yet.
No, currently doesn't. Might be tough to get it before he graduates, but could happen.
What would we put in the mashed potatoes? Like, how would we load them?
Green chili.
Oh, okay. You already lost me.
Queso.
In the mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
On.
Cheese, right? Yeah. On top.
On?
Yeah, on.
You guys put. Now, I could see maybe red, like a red chili, like sauce.
Well, you completely were against that for Thanksgiving, so now you're coming.
It's coming around.
The turntables have turned.
Good point. Like, we should just do gravy.
Yeah.
Little kernels of corn, delicious kernels of corn.
Which House and Mash were not last night.
No.
They were not the gravy.
They were. Ooh, that was a good one.
The gravy. That's okay. It's one game, guys.
It's just one game.
Lobo Nation can calm down if they're. I try to stay off the social media after those games. Those are never fun to be on.
Yeah,
Well,
smart.
we have different algorithms. And do you
We probably do.
think they fall out of the top 25 though?
I don't know. I mean,
Boise State not in the top 25.
good team though.
Yeah, now that they beat someone in the top 25.
Yeah.
That I
It's
try
like
not to. Let's just get into the tournament. Right?
It's like a win doesn't help you that much, but a loss really hurts you.
Accurate.
Yeah. I don't know. We got to see who else wins and who else loses the rest of the week. But there is potential to not be in the top 20, which is better. Let's stay out of the top. You don't win championships by being ranked, right?
Traditionally, a lot of teams that have won championships have been ranked. I'm not trying to burst your bubble here.
Was San Diego State ranked?
Going
into the Final Four.
Not trying to spoil anything. They didn't win the championship.
I know. I mean,
well,
I would
technically,
be very happy to get as far as they did, though.
Technically, every team is ranked, just not in the top 25.
Yeah, let's be top 35 ranked.
Or at least 64.
Prestigious, very prestigious.
100% we need to be in the top 64.
Yes, 68, no thanks.
I like
Don't want
that one.
Yeah, we got to get in the.
Ooh, but they get an
64.
extra game.
That doesn't matter.
If they're 64 to
That's
68.
NIT. I mean, just put me in the NIT.
Oh, bummer.
Right? CBI. That's still a thing.
The best part of your win streak getting snapped is that you had a win streak.
Sure.
Start a new one.
A new win streak.
Yes.
You guys will want to break.
I mean, you can't win them all. You know what I mean?
You can, but I don't know if anybody has. I mean, it's not my lifetime. Maybe they have.
No team has won them all since Bobby Knight. Is that right?
They go undefeated?
Undebeatable.
I feel like we should know this. This is a trivia question we should know.
It's been so long ago is the problem.
Yeah.
505-246-0610.
Yeah, who knew?
Last
Gil,
team.
anything we missed?
What are we giving away? If you can text us on the Sports Animal text line, the last team to go undefeated, we'll give you Amory's address.
Yeah, that's what we'll give.
That's wow.
Not her personal address, her business one.
Neither.
We're taking Margs to the Super
Yeah, let's
Bowl.
take some salsa. I'm loaning you
salsa?
guys. Yeah, we're gonna put it in the truck.
We're taking an aggressive amount of Sadie's salsa to the Super Bowl.
Spicy.
It might be a bit much, but that's okay. The people will love it.
Get ready, Kurt Warner. You're about to get Sadie's'd.
Yeah.
Not a verb.
It is now.
2 men on. Live from Sadie's on 4th. 95.9 FM and AM 610. Home of the Super Bowl. The sports animal.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
In traffic right now, we've got that police activity in the area of McMahon Boulevard and Golf Course Road. You're going to want to avoid that altogether. They are diverting people away from it. So just seek out an alternate route if you can. Elsewhere around the city right now, dealing with congestion, I-40 westbound approaching the interchange. That's going to last until Unser. I-25 southbound between Osuna and Montgomery. Traffic's moving slow there. Also dealing with congestion on Paseo headed west between I-25 and the river. And seeing a little bit more congestion right now, westbound Alameda approaching 2nd Street. That'll last until Coors. Also northbound I-25 right now between Gibson and Central. Traffic moving a little slow there.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Make yourself at home. Shop in-store or online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Arizona, one of the few teams that looks like a national title contender, just 1 month away from March based on their metrics. The Wildcats, a big 17.5-point favorite at home. And the BetQL model is laying the points. BetQL has Arizona minus 17.5 as a 5-star best bet. I'm Chris Mack. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the apps today.
Most people gamble. They visit a casino, buy a lottery ticket, play an online game. But for a few, gambling becomes more than fun. It becomes a problem, an addiction, just like a drug or alcohol addiction. Free and confidential help and treatment is available. Funded by Responsible Gaming Association of New Mexico. A toll-free hotline, 888.
I'm doing a sound check with Lobo Talk.
Is available 24 hours a day. Find help at RCAN.
Can you hear me?
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I just
I'm a loud person.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons.
So the levels are coming off red on my
voiced
end.
by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Yeah,
Babbel.
way better.
Go to
Before the 9
and
was good
start
though with
learning a
Rob.
new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. DayQuil
Not in the
Kids
mic, but
Berry from
ears.
Vicks. DayQuil Kids is specially formulated to treat
your mic
kids' most
sounds good.
bothersome cold and cough symptoms
Yeah.
quickly. And the best part is that DayQuil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
DayQuil Kids Berry.
Your mic levels are good.
Delicious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids. Medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
Gentlemen, are you
You guys are coming back in 2 minutes.
but it's not what it once was? It's Medical Center. It's Jeff Symbieta, and at New Mail, they specialize in men's health, offering cutting-edge treatments for erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, and more. Their expert team is dedicated to helping you regain that spark and vitality. Imagine feeling energetic, confident, and at your best again, whether it's reigniting the passion in the bedroom, restoring your youthful vigor, or even tackling hair loss. New Mail's personalized treatments are designed just for you. Don't let another day go by feeling less than your best. Join thousands of men who have transformed their lives with New Mail. It's confidential, comprehensive, and most importantly, it's about you. Ready to discover the new you? Visit newmailmedical.com or call them at 505-652-1688 to schedule your private consultation today. That's 505-652-1688. New Mail Medical Center.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQL.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, I'll take some.
Great. And some Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, nah, I'm good.
Oh, you're just gonna eat these dry, plain, boring nachos with no Franks. Oh, seriously? Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up.
Oh.
Hey, this guy finally gets it. Look, we're on the Jumbotron.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
This is where New Mexico comes for sports. 95.9 FM and AM.
Here we go.
Sports Animal.
Like 20 minutes from Lobo Talk. Is that a fact?
Ooh. I'll be tuned in.
Hey, Murray, where's Lobo Talk?
Buffalo Wild Wings on, I think on Gibson.
That's my Buffalo Wild Wings. And by my, I mean it's just near my house.
You don't own a Buffalo
No,
Wild Wings?
Yeah, I don't actually own it.
Loser.
Now, mandatory NFL headline.
Talking about
With
wings.
Marie Castillo.
Okay, we have a little time here left in the 2 Men on show. So, new Panthers head coach Dave Canales was introduced as the head coach today and says, we're going to become what Bryce Young is great at.
What does that mean? Guys, help me. I don't do coach speak. What does that mean?
Not hitting his head in doorways, that's for sure.
He's little.
Because he's little.
Yeah. Being able to fit in an F1 car.
After Bryce Young had a remarkably rough rookie season, he believes after he turned around Baker Mayfield in Tampa that he could get Bryce Young on the right track.
I buy into that.
Can't get worse.
But no matter what, it'll be better. Good. Yeah, Van, I'm with you.
Yep. I say trade him for a 5th rounder.
Ooh.
I say trade him for I say trade him for a 5th.
Micah Parsons. Yes. Micah Parsons hopes the Dallas Cowboys acquire players that are missing. We didn't do that this past year.
Like on the back of
that lady.
On the back of milk cartons.
That lady Micah.
Micah, you guys know Micah Parsons. After hearing Jerry Jones say he's all in, he hopes he is telling the truth and actually acquires the players that are needed.
Aren't they like top 3 in salary every year?
Yeah.
Jerry Jones.
They've been all in every year. They're just bad at it.
Jerry Jones needs to take a book out of what he's seeing with his close personal friend Vince McMahon. Get out before he becomes the villain.
More of a villain.
More of the villain.
Or villainy.
He's good.
Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown came out today.
Oh,
and back.
congratulations.
Yeah.
AJ. What did his dad say?
Hey, Mary, are you fried? Is your microphone fried?
I don't know. Does it sound weird?
Damn,
It's a little hot.
It's a little hot.
A little hot.
It's a little hot.
Hey,
I'm
bring
so
it
sorry.
down. We can always-
Yeah, sorry.
The friend of the show loves A-Marie so much. They
love
don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry it was so loud. We were.
Oh, who won the
Are we
sports
good?
animal quiz? Hit your address.
After everything Amory was
Please.
saying, it sounded like a mosquito was getting stabbed by a bug.
I'm
zapper.
so sorry, guys.
She was so excited about the second.
Yeah. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, though, he backs up Nick Sirianni and says his confidence has definitely not wavered. And what he means is he still believes in Nick Sirianni.
I have to learn a lot of people's names for me to even throw a joke in the story.
Okay. Yeah, they got to the Super Bowl last year. They're still good. They don't suck. If Jalen Hurts win the quarterback challenge, I can quit watching. Got to do radio. He's still good.
My favorite quarterback challenge is Breakthrough and Conquer. I do like the joust. I put assault underneath of that, and the eliminator, obviously, number 1.
It's a really good order.
Yeah.
New Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald to call defensive plays notes different personality from Pete Carroll. He wants to let everyone know he's not trying to replicate him.
Now, how can you coach the Dolphins and the Seahawks at the same time? I'm very confused.
No, this is Mike McDonald.
Is this like, is there a Wish joke here? Is this like when you order Mike McDaniel on Wish?
That's exactly what
Okay.
you were gone that day.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah. But anyway, so Michael McDonald, I mean, he keeps forgetting.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I see where you're going.
He keeps forgetting
Uh-huh.
that he's now the head coach for a different team.
Yes. But he's not going to be Pete Carroll, just to let you know. He's not going to replicate him.
Yes, we know you're not a cloned version of Pete Carroll. That's
Not gonna be
illegal in
chewing
America.
gum.
They do that in China.
That's what a fool believes.
Yeah, it is.
Biggest news of the day, Commanders are hiring Dan Quinn as their new head coach, and they're still called the Washington Commanders.
For now.
For now.
For now. They need to get rid of that stupid name. Go back to the Washington football team. That's the best name they've ever had. Rebrand, bring it back, run it back. There's a problem. You don't got a good roster and your coach is mid. So congratulations on your 8-9 season.
According to the way they understand media, if they change their name to the Washington Square Pants, people will come to them in droves.
Crush it.
Yeah.
Their theme song is Sweet Victory.
Their theme song could also be Long Train Running.
Different coach.
Ah, dang it.
Could have made a Mighty Quinn reference there.
Two more headlines
dang it.
before we take our last break before the final segment for Lobo Talk. Chargers wide receiver Quentin Johnston feels like he's due for a breakout season in 2024.
Hey, this dude is a genius. Dan Quentin Johnson. He set the bar so low this year in his rookie season. Only thing that he could do is be a success next year. I have a
That's
friend
so
of the
funny.
show, OG Falcon says under promise, overperform, and he underperformed, and now he's over promising. But luckily, the bar was set so low, he's going to have a fantastic season next year.
Names that start with the letter Q.
Players with the letter Q.
The New England Patriots are in a new era. They are actually going to have coaching titles as they are set to hire ex-Browns offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt.
That's a busy guy. Coaches football all day, does Sports Center at night.
No, that's Scott.
AVP.
What did you say?
Alex.
He skins animals and makes cool hats.
Van Pelt.
Yeah.
Those are your headlines.
Not your best work today.
No, you could have done it.
What else?
And
Is there
now
anything else going on?
Well, Lobo Talk's going to happen soon, so you have to take a break and then get a margarita at Sadie's.
Oh, we have to break today?
Twist my arm.
Yes.
The one story Avery missed in the world of the NFL, whenever we get back and before we hand it off to Lobo Talk, right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The boys are at Sadie's on 4th. Come hang out. Already some friends of the show are here. Don't forget, this is the home of the Super Bowl, the sports animal.
This report is by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
In traffic right now, we've got that police activity in the area of McMahon Boulevard and Golf Course Road. You're going to want to avoid that altogether. They are diverting people away from it. So just seek out an alternate route if you can. Elsewhere around the city right now, dealing with congestion, I-40 westbound approaching the interchange. That's going to last until Unser. I-25 southbound between Osuna and Montgomery. Traffic's moving slow there. Also dealing with congestion on Paseo headed west between I-25 and the river. And seeing a little bit more congestion right now, westbound Alameda approaching 2nd Street. That'll last until Coors. Also, northbound I-25 right now between Gibson and Central. Traffic moving a little slow there.
This report brought to you by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union. Banking without the bank.
Stop the revolving door in your high-interest credit cards. Consolidate your debt with a personal loan from Sandia Area. One rate, one payment. Financial freedom is closer than you think. Apply today at sandia.org/forward. Sandia Area. Better banking without the bank. Sandia Area is an equal opportunity lender and membership is required.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, serving the community since 1936. World class, local style. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
You already know that 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal, is your home for the NFL postseason and Super Bowl.
I'm going to do that once Rob
Your
gets on.
business could actually win free commercials in the game.
Touchdown, Kansas City.
Head to sportsanimalabq.com right now.
No, sorry. I'm talking to Lobo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll stop looking.
Key winner will get free commercials in Super Bowl.
I'm sorry.
Here on The Sports Animal, February 11th.
And he runs out across the 30, breaks a tackle, he's gone. Touchdown, C.
That's sportsanimalabq.com.
Here come the Lobos. At Malloy Dodge on Coors, Lobo season means great deals on new and used Dodge and Rams from the region's
You guys staying in Vegas?
huge selection of Ram trucks. As the state
The
Dodge offers
they have dollar blackjack there.
in service for newer used vehicles or service on any maker.
I know where it is. I know that place very well.
Coors, deal and go.
I go to Vegas often.
Always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. DayQuil Kids Berry from Vicks. DayQuil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that DayQuil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
DayQuil Kids Berry. The kids' berry-licious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids. Medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus. Blake Slaughterburger has been in New Mexico 52. They use the best ingredients like their very own Hatch green chili and fresh premium beef patties. And they cook your food fresh when you order it. Blake Slaughterburger. The first there was, the best there is.
See Dr. Portrayal.
Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. In 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected.
Ethos fast and easy online term life insurance up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Football's biggest game day is almost here. Total Wine is your place for all your game day needs. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
You guys will have about 4 minutes, okay?
Wine is your
Do we get Michael Irvin?
30 years, you'll find what you love and love what you.
It's weird. He's only there for an hour.
Be 20.
As of right now, he's on the list.
The Sports Animal is now 27.
You guys go.
What we're saying is, it's now not creepy to tell us how good we look for our age. Just remember, we're not that kind of station. Creeper.
Best story of the day, and Amory missed it because he's a hater. A woman on a Southwest flight from Baltimore to Phoenix this morning had a mid-flight medical emergency. The doctor and nurse attending to her couldn't find a strong pulse. Her blood pressure was extremely low and required oxygen to breathe. Generally very scary. A man in the aisle seat popped up and said, "Could it be your blood sugar? I have a diabetic testing kit." That man, Ravens tight end Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Andrews instructed the medical professionals, equal citizens and heroes in this story, Van,
Sure.
into using his test kit. Eventually, her heart rate stabilized. Paramedics met the flight as soon as it landed. Andrews deplaned quietly, no fanfare. As he's done his whole career, he stepped up in a huge moment when people needed him most. Watching complete strangers spring into action is monumental, Van. And the silver lining of it all is if the Ravens had beat the Chiefs, this lady would have died.
That's true. That's 100% true. Because it seems like the doctor and the nurse on the friggin' flight didn't consider that her blood sugar was plummeting. She was having diabetic issues. And if John Harbaugh wasn't on the take from Vegas and completely changed their playbook and what's worked for them all year so he can get some cut underneath the table, which is obviously what happened.
Yep.
Everybody knows that.
Everyone in the world.
Ask anybody. John Harbaugh.
Everyone knows.
On the take. He's on
Widely
the take.
known.
Las Vegas, so powerful.
They talk about it.
If John Harbaugh hadn't screwed up the Ravens season by
Yeah.
trying to change their whole game plan and thinking Lamar Jackson was friggin' prime Peyton Manning all of a sudden, if he hadn't have choked for his team, Mark Andrews couldn't have saved that woman's life. This is nuts.
I like that he flies Southwest. I can relate to that. So, want to get away or I guess he's our want to get away hero. Thank you, Mark Andrews.
Before he asked, does she have a peanut allergy?
Yeah.
'Cause they gave me peanuts instead of pretzels.
She marries Mark Andrews, and it turns out she's Taylor Swift's sister.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
God, all these twists. Good man, Mark Andrews is my new favorite player.
Good job, dude. Like, why wasn't that on the short checklist of this doctor?
If he's not on that flight, legit, like if he's in Vegas at the Super Bowl, isn't that wild to think about? That's like super wild to think about. Also, I'm not trying to insinuate that he legit saved her life, but like it was a part of the process.
Sure.
Yeah.
They might have checked that too late. And the conditions could have been worse. And I mean, thank goodness it wasn't Ray Lewis on the flight, right?
Because of
the implications. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Allegedly.
If there was a person out there who was like, I'm not a Mark Andrews guy, I would question that person.
How benign is Mark Andrews? How is he the target of your ire? Who's anti-Mark Andrews?
I don't know if he's benign, but he's a hard 9 in my book.
Hey-o.
Good show today from Sadie's on 4th.
I love this place.
Thank you to Turbo Tony Davis for joining us on the program. He's awesome. Not just about racing, it's kind of fun. Gil Sadie, who joined us, he's the nicest.
Did Turbo Tony check in after he left? So it's like we were talking about racing a lot. He was amped.
Yeah.
After he sped out of this mother.
Hey, Marie, you were mid today.
Oh, gosh.
Tomorrow's going to be a real test for you. Friday before
Okay. All right.
Super Bowl Friday energy.
Van,
Make sure you check out Lobo Talk.
Yeah, that'll
with our dear friend Rob. That's gonna be wild. They got a lot to answer for.
good job, everyone. GG.
See you tomorrow, Buddha Kids.
Good job, guys.
In traffic right now, we've got